keeps moving. It going back to the return, and it goes around and around and around.
Right. Oh, so it goes straight across, doesn't it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because this is the return line.
Yeah,
with
coming right out of the pump.
Right.
The feed line out of the pump comes from underneath and goes to the firewall,
Yes.
which comes out of the valve. And the open and close valve has a innies on each side and an outie on that side.
Right.
Well, that outie on that side doesn't actually go to the valve.
Well, the return line. Right.
Yeah, it doesn't go back to the valve.
It doesn't go back to the valve.
It goes along the wall here. And it's probably aluminum because they knew they weren't going to want to replace that. And the last thing they need is a leak there.
Right. Yeah, because they wouldn't need to replace. They wouldn't need to replace the feedback because it's never.
We have to replace any rubber on 5 hours, including the diaphragms in the carburetor, all the O-rings in the carburetor, all of that, the pumps, the coolant hoses. Every 5 years. Now, that's a requirement by road tax, and you're not legally obligated to do that in an experimental.
Well, you know, it's one of those things where I'm obligated by the desire to stay alive.
A lot of people go to them and they go, well, I could do these on condition. Hell, I've had these hoses in my car for 40 years and never changed them, right?
Right.
And they'll feel them and they'll go like, oh, it's still compliant. That's not cracked. But once you get to the spots where the heat's concentrated, you'll see they're crispy critters. They're small in 5 years, and you'll never be sorry you did.
Well, and that's the thing now. It's like I don't know if Sam replaced any of the fuel lines.
From you again. I'll look at it. Yeah.
But I think I have enough. He had bought a bunch of, or I don't know, 9 meters of fuel line from Evektor or from Steve.
That's all the way up there. 9 meters. 27 feet, right?
So I should have enough.
Probably.
Yeah.
Right there about
as long as I don't waste it.
If you use the right size hose.
It's 6 millimeters. Well, it says Evektor.
Huh? On the hose?
No, on a tag.
Yeah. Alright, I want to show you this. I'm going to point with my fat finger. So this is coming out of the tanks. It's going to the fuel selector, and this is the firewall. Alright. This is the electric fuel pump. This is the mechanical fuel pump.
Yeah, I thought it was, I liked how they bypassed them both.
Well, the thing is, if you run them in parallel, you'll be okay.
Right.
This one actually has, looks like you put a check valve in there. It shows flow going this way, so there's a check valve in that.
Yeah, but I don't see one on this plane. Unless it's on...
You don't know where to look.
Well, it could be on the... I wonder if the electric fuel pump has a check valve built into it.
So it's after the fuel filter, which is there.
Yeah.
And it comes into here. And it's only on the electric fuel pump, not on the other fuel pump.
Right.
So your electric fuel pump does have one there. somewhere. I recall seeing it on every run. I just don't know where to put my finger on it.
Well, I know the cheap $10 fuel pump that's on it has a check valve on it, not part of it, but as a secondary component. But I'll find out when I get the other one.
All right, now I want to continue to go over this. There's some things that you may not notice right away. All right, so these are your fuels coming in. It's going into your T, which it is.
So this is the sender unit, and this is the electric fuel pump.
And this is from your fuel pump, all right?
Mechanical fuel pump.
All right, that's this point here. Comes into the T. There's only one T in the system. I mean one X. The rest are T's.
Right.
All right. So.
And they're stainless steel.
What is? No, they're aluminum.
Oh, these are aluminum?
Yeah.
Stainless steel, okay?
As long as it's not slippery.
What do you mean slippery? Oh, I see.
So, all right, it goes into the T, and directly across from where it comes in is where it's restricted. And
Right.
it shows you that right here.
Right.
All right, that's your restrictor. And that's where it goes back to the left fuel tank. These are straight to your carburetors. Nothing coming back from the carburetor. It sits there. But we don't want any of this fuel to stop moving.
Well, it's interesting the way they've got they've got one T here to the fuel pressure, but they don't show a T on the carburetor line, which
There is none.
right here is the electric fuel pump. And the way this looks, it should be on this pipe, but what they've done is they've tied it into this one carburetor right here.
What? All right, you're looking at maybe it's backwards
Well, there's one carburetor, right?
on each side.
Right, but here's a T, and here's a T,
Yeah.
and here's a cross. This one's the electric fuel pump, and this one is the sending unit.
Yeah, but this one is going in. This is going in this way. This one's just reading pressure.
Right.
All right, I'm not saying that anything goes from the carburetor because it doesn't. Fuel comes in here and goes this way.
Distributes.
It's going this way. So it's pressing, it's measuring the pressure here, it's measuring, or is this one the pump?
This is the pump.
Yeah. So this is just a parallel of this.
Right.
It's going this way in, and that one's going that way in. It's going like this. This one's going back in. So it's going this way. This is teed off to get a measurement. This is a T here to get more fuel in.
Electric.
The electric
Pressurize the system.
Yeah.
Well, at least that's what the checklist says.
Well, yeah. That's what you want to do is make sure your bowls are.
Make sure what?
Your bowls are.
Oh.
Because it's gasoline. It's hydrovac or whatever. It'll evaporate.
Right. Yeah, well, the plan is to keep that dang thing in the air, so.
So that's how you fix it.
It's a beautiful thing.